So here I am at the an open area in our yeshuv. Tonight is the holiday, minor holiday on the Jewish calendar of Lag BaOmer, and in recent times, it has sort of devolved into a weird tribal custom amongst the youth. I would say between the ages of 8 and 16 in this country at least, where right after Pesach, all the youth of the Yeshuvim, they collect all the spare brush and firewood and kindling that they can find, and they bring it to a place like this with the intention of setting it on fire on tonight on Lag BaOmer. And you can see how meticulously they've set up a little one here, and they've put these stones around it to mark the fire. Here, we'll come up to the next one. You'll see how absolutely how much effort these kids put into doing this. They've spent the last 33 days doing this, just collecting brush and firewood and old wooden furniture and making these things. I mean, look, this pile is just a random pile. This is one way that our yeshuv gets cleaned up every year. These kids are very industrious. Look at this pile. This pile is huge. They're going to set that on fire. Hope nobody gets burned. They collect these wooden pallets and stack them up. It's kind of it's a humorous thing to see these little kids, 8 years old, dragging, 4 or 5 of them dragging a single pallet to this place, and they do it day after day after day until they've accumulated their wood pile. So, random brush over there. I mean, some of these piles are, here's another one where they've meticulously set up a stone circle around it to complete the ritual. It's an interesting concept that young kids, they create these rituals amongst themselves. Look at this. And look over there. The problem with the one over there in the distance is they piled it up all against that electrical and telephone pole. So if they light that on fire there, then the whole yeshuv will lose telephone service. Well, not very good, right, Sully? So I was saying, these kids, they have self-developed this ritual. There's, of course, no basis for it in Jewish tradition to do this, but it's become a beloved and endearing ritual for many young children in Israel to go and do this wood collection and build these wood piles and then set them on fire on Lag BaOmer. And we know how traditions get created. Once you start a tradition, then they will pass it down to their children, who will pass it down to their children. I don't know if you can see on the other side of the road there. On the other side of the road, there are a couple of piles over there. So tonight, entire region will be ablaze. And one question, I mean, not all the children on the yeshuv observe this custom, but a fair number of them do. And the question is, where are the parents of these children? I mean, not only is it dangerous, it creates a smoky mess. Everyone on the yeshuv, every home has to close their windows because of the intense smoke that's setting all that stuff on fire, especially in the rainy season has ended and everything is quite dry and cinders can fly. And you see this beautiful stand of eucalyptus trees, cinder can blow and just burn down this beautiful stand of eucalyptus trees, which was planted About 60 years ago, I actually spoke to a very, very elderly gentleman who I met on one of my dog walks, walking through this grove, and he told me that when he was a little boy, he helped plant all these eucalyptus trees, which have grown into this nice grove. Anyway, yeah, so there are dangers. Most rational adults don't understand how parents let the children do this strange wood collecting and burning activity on Lag BaOmer. It has no basis in, it really has no basis to do it in this manner anywhere in Jewish tradition, but that's how new traditions are created, right? Who am I to say, stand in the way of creating new traditions? Anyway, who knows? Maybe I'll walk by here tonight. You can see these things all ablaze and bask in the ridiculousness of it all. Okay, hope you enjoyed my presentation.